Welcome to Spectrum News of 4. I am Emedion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu withholds assets to NAS Library Trust Fund, cite legal and fiscal concerns. SDP suspends National Chairman Gabang and others. Plus, China announces September military parade to mark end of World War II. I'll bring you details of the stories and more in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. First in the news this afternoon is a report that President Bola Tinubu has declined to sign the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Establishment Amendment Bill 2025 into law. He cited constitutional policies and fiscal concerns. The bill, which seeks to transform the National Assembly Library Trust Fund into the National Assembly Resource Center, was returned to the House of Representatives on Monday with a formal letter from the President, read at plenary by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin. While acknowledging the bill's good intentions, President Tinubu raised reservations about certain provisions, describing them as inconsistent with existing federal statutes and administrative policies. Among the areas of concerns highlighted were the proposed funding structure for institutions under the National Assembly, taxation of federal entities, remuneration issues within the public service, and the clauses relating to age and service limit. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has vowed to execute infrastructural development in all zones of Nigeria. Tinubu said he will continue to execute projects that will make Nigerians feel the touch of good governance under his administration. He spoke at the inauguration of the newly constructed rural road from A2 Junction, Abuja to Lokoja Expressway to Pai Community in Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) to mark his second year in office. The president vowed to continue embarking on projects like that of the A2 to Pai Road across Nigeria because it is symbolic. In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that Africa's future economy depends on its ability to integrate the informal sector into the formal intra-African trade framework. Shettima stated these while declaring open the fourth African Union Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises (MSME) Forum in Abuja. While he said the framework will be achieved particularly through the African Continental Free Trade Area, he warned that if Africa failed to harness the potential in the informal sector for small businesses to grow, the continent will keep growing around the same circle of despair. A statement later published on its official X handle noted that the promise of a better future for Africa does not depend on the skyscrapers being constructed in capitals of nations or the transactions in stock exchanges, but lies in the reality that the potential of the informal sector, which accounts for nearly 90% of the continent's workforce, must be harnessed. In another development, the second session of the Nigerian-Brazil Strategic Dialogue Mechanism (SDM) kicked off in Abuja on Tuesday as Nigeria is set to sign more than 30 memorandum of understanding with Brazil. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President Stanley Nkwocha, announced the arrival of Brazil's Vice President Geraldo Alckmin to begin the three-day state visit. According to the statement, the visit is aimed at deepening bilateral ties between the two countries as the MOU is expected to cover a broad range of strategic sectors, including defense and security cooperation, agricultural technology transfer, energy collaboration and transition initiatives, cultural and educational exchange programs, trade facilitation, and industrial development. In politics, amid a brewing crisis, the Social Democratic Party National Working Committee has suspended its national chairman, Shegu Gamba, and two other members over allegations of gross financial misconduct. The spokesperson of the party, Araba Yusuf, disclosed this in a statement today. The other members suspended are Nze Nnadi, National Auditor, and Uchechukwu Chukwuma, National Youth Leader of the party. According to the party, the suspension of the trial takes effect immediately. In another development, the Benue State Police Command on Monday said it has deployed drones to track down the location of the 11 passengers and drivers abducted around Eke in Opoku local government area of the state. Gunmen suspected to be kidnappers had around 6:30 p.m. on Sunday abducted 11 passengers and the driver of a vehicle belonging to Benue State Transport Company, known as Benue Links. The bus was intercepted at Eke in Opoku local government area along the Otukpo and Otukpa Enugu highway. Confirming the abduction, the management of Benue Link said the ill-fated vehicle left Abeokuta in Ogun State en route to Makurdi on Sunday when it was intercepted by gunmen. The management confirmed the incident in a statement made available to journalists in Makurdi on Monday. On financial crime, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has arrested an ex-chief financial officer (CFO) of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), Umar Isa, over an alleged $7.2 billion fraud linked with the rehabilitation of the Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt refineries. The anti-graft agency also apprehended one Jimon Olasunkanmi, a former managing director of Warri Refinery. It could be recalled that Issa, as CFO, spearheaded the release of funds for the turnaround maintenance of the three refineries. Reports say he and all the key officials involved in the maintenance of the refineries and other NNPC key projects are being investigated for alleged abuse of office, corruption, diversion of funds, and kickbacks from contractors. Let's move now to Africa, where three police officers in Kenya were on Monday, June 23rd, charged with the murder of a 31-year-old blogger, Albert Ojeng, whose death in police custody earlier this month had triggered nationwide protests and renewed scrutiny of police brutality in the country. Ojwang was arrested after allegedly defaming Kenya's deputy police chief, Eliud Lagat, on social media. Lagat was denied any wrongdoing, stepped down temporarily last week while investigation continued. Alongside the three officers, Samson Kipochi, Talem James, and Peter Kimani, three civilians are also facing charges. Authorities initially claimed Ojin died from self-inflicted injuries. However, a postmortem later revealed evidence of assault, contradicting the police account and fueling public anger. On the foreign scene, Chinese troops will parade through Beijing Tiananmen Square alongside aircraft, flypers, and high-tech weaponry to mark 80 years since the end of World War II. Reports say millions of Chinese were killed during a prolonged war with Imperial Japan in 1930s and 40s, which merged with the global conflagration following Tokyo's attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. Beijing's Communist Party has held a series of block-style events in recent years to commemorate its wartime resistance, vowing that China would never be brought to its knees in such a way again. According to Wu Zege, an official at China's military commission, the parade on September 3rd will see President Xi Jinping inspect troops in Tiananmen Square. Still on the foreign scene, the WhatsApp messaging service has been banned from all US House of Representative devices, according to a memo sent to all House staff on Monday. Citing data security concerns, a memo issued Monday by the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer, the House Office of Cybersecurity flagged WhatsApp as a high-risk app due to lack of transparency in how it protects user data, absence of stored data, encryption, and potential security risks involved with its use. Still to come in the news. Messi's Miami to face PSG in last 16 Club World Cup reunion. Stay tuned for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. On our business news, the Naira appreciated against the dollar at the parallel foreign exchange market to kick off the week on a good note. A periodic change operator at Wusa Zone 4 told reporters that it gained 1,590 naira against the dollar on Monday from 1,600 naira traded last week on Friday. This means that at the black market, where foreign exchange currencies are mostly transacted, the naira strengthened by a significant 10 naira in the period under review. In health, the chairman of Nigerian Medical Association Abia State, Dr. Ezinwa Ezurike, has called on Abia State Civil Service Commission and other concerned agencies to resume the process for recruiting of 771 health workers, which was approved by Governor Alex Oti. Dr. Ezurike, who made the call in Umuahia, expressed surprise at the sudden suspension of the recruitment exercise last week. Speaking to newsmen in Umuahia, the NMA chairman praised Governor Alex Oti for his wisdom in approving the employment of more health workers and for reconstructing health facilities in the state. He, however, called for urgent resumption of the employment to take care of patients' health workers ratio in urban and rural areas. He said that employing more health workers as approved by Governor Oti would go a long way in addressing the shortage of experienced professional health workers in the state. Still in health, the National Health Insurance Authority and stakeholders in the health sector have emphasized the need to prioritize health insurance, making it accessible and sustainable for every individual, regardless of their background or economic status. They noted that health insurance remains a vital instrument for improving health outcomes, reducing preventable death, and saving lives. With the 2022 NHIA Act 2022, health insurance has become mandatory for all Nigerians and legal residents in the country. Reports say 19.2 million citizens have enrolled in health insurance schemes. Speaking at an interactive forum in Lagos recently with the theme Health Insurance, a priority to improve health outcomes, the stakeholders who identified challenges hindering health insurance coverage and charted a course of action also emphasized the crucial role of health insurance in achieving universal health coverage in to sports news now, where Nigeria's Super Falcons will arrive Morocco on Wednesday for their final preparations ahead of the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations. Justine Madugu's side held their host Portugal to a 0-0 draw in a friendly at the Estadio Jose Gomez on Monday night. The players will have a light training session on today before departing for Morocco. The Super Falcons have another friendly scheduled for Sunday against perennial rivals Black Queens of Ghana. Nigeria's opening game at the WAFCON 2026. The nine-time African champions will also face Botswana and Algeria in a group stage. Still in sport, Inter Miami's Lionel Messi faces a tantalizing reunion with former club Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup last 16 after both sides on Monday progressed to the knockout phase. Miami drew 2-2 with Palmeiras to go through second in Group A after the Brazilian side fought back from 2 goals down to 0 top sport. They now face an all-Brazil clash against Botafogo, who lost 1-0 to Atletico Madrid but progressed from Group B in second at the expense of the Spaniards. Meanwhile, champions of Europe, PSG won the group with a 2-0 victory over Seattle Sounders, paving the way for the clash with Messi and surprise package Miami. On entertainment news, the high-profile trial of Sean Diddy Combs is approaching its final stretch, with both teams poised to rest their cases as soon as Tuesday. Closing arguments are tentatively expected to begin on Thursday, after which juries will be tasked with deciding the fate of the music mogul, who faces life in prison if convicted. The prosecution's 34th and last witness is currently on the stand, and defense lawyers indicated Monday they do not plan on calling their own witnesses to testify in Muhammad's federal court. Last in the news at this hour, reality TV star and influencer Tasha Akide has sparked conversation online after she shared her observation on the financial struggles of Nigerians living in the United Kingdom. In a recent video, the former Bibi Niger housemaid, now residing in the UK, shared her perspective that many Nigerians abroad are not financially secured as is commonly perceived. Contrary to popular belief, Tasha stated that many Nigerians in the UK are barely surviving, with some even living less comfortably than their counterparts in Nigeria, particularly due to the high cost of living in the UK. And that's all we have for you at this time. To ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. I am Emedion James, and you've been watching Spectrum News at 4. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.